reports for this evening. It's now time for public comment. And some people in the audience have an opportunity to speak. And I'd ask that you please come up to the microphone and state your name and address and sign in at the sheet that's up there. Now that we're back in our formal quarters, it was a little more relaxed in the library, but respect everybody's time. We are going to limit speakers to 2 minutes, and Kevin will keep track of that. When he raises his hand, I would ask that you wrap up your comments. And those that are speaking are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner as they deliver their comments. Audience members are asked to refrain from reacting to comments, and the City Council will not respond directly to comments in this venue or take immediate action in response to them. So anyone who's in the audience that wishes to speak, now is your opportunity. Come up to the front here and state your name and address and your comment. Yes.
Melissa Zimmerman, and I'm here speaking to the East Side Corridor, 2525 Stony Creek Drive. This is a really cool setup. We are here today and at other meetings because as City Council members, you hold the power to make decisions. It's important to clarify that we are not against the East Side Corridor. In fact, we agree that it is needed. Regardless of whether the city or the county is leading this project, both of you hold pivotal roles as decision makers, representing the needs of your constituents who do not have direct seats at that table. We are here as representatives of a substantial number of constituents who are asking you to represent their preferences. Our purpose is to convey these preferences to you. For more than a year and a half, we have been requesting conversations to address the safety concerns of East Side Corridor at 29th Avenue. We proposed an alternative solution that could solve these issues, but yet it was dismissed without any studies. Why? Today, only one individual has been willing to engage in this conversation, and for that, thank you. However, our other representatives have bluntly expressed their disinterest in what a significant portion of their constituents want. That's not acceptable. You have the power to make decisions, address our safety concerns, and represent us at the table to voice our concerns. It's essential to engage in conversations to comprehend both perspectives and reasons behind our concerns and find ways to address them. You have the power to shape this project, which is why we continue to share our concerns with you. We are advocating for an East Side Corridor that prioritizes safety. The current plan not only lacks safety and logic, but the information provided consistently contradicts both state and federal guidelines. The fundamental premise of this project was to preserve a right-of-way, yet the city has been developing on that right-of-way for the past decade. The proposed highway design not only disregards safety, but encroaches on residents' properties. Since day one, we have raised concerns with recommendations aligning with state guidelines, only to be met with constant refusal. It's a misuse of taxpayer dollars to fund studies of feasibility to build on land when it's evident from day one that houses already exist on that land. We should have discussions about these fundamental issues as required by both Minnesota and federal laws before conducting environmental studies. We deserve clear answers to our questions and our decision makers.
That's 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would like to set a tone for an open conversation going forward.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak this evening? Yes, sir.
I agree, fancy setup. The new digs. Matt Sennett, 2519 Stony Creek Drive. Just like to say I'm also here on behalf of residents on the east side of town with the East Side Corridor Project. I know what you're doing is a thankless job, but I just want to say thank you for representing constituents. You probably don't hear thank you enough. With that said, I just wanted to say over a quarter century ago, a north-south route on the east side of town was proposed. Studies have been conducted on that route in 1995 and on a few additional alternatives. Many concerns kind of came about, which I thought I'd read from the 1995 studies, some of what the residents were saying back then about this corridor, this belt line on the east side of town in relation to residential areas. It says, since the east of Owatonna is expanding, a belt line should allow for expansion of community and not affect existing residential areas. Another resident said that a belt line gives the city a chance to grow. Highways usually restrict growth. Property could be zoned to accommodate business. We need facilities for a grocery store, gasoline station, etc. We have nothing on the end of that on that end of Owatonna. Again, that was almost a quarter century ago. And yet recently, It's come to light that a road is being, this plan is being opened back up and a road entertained in this exact same spot. Yet the plans were abandoned clear back in 2004, saying it wasn't feasible. And then the right-of-way, some of it was sold off to residential developers. Yet here we are today again with this roadway next to our neighborhoods, which there's quite a few residential houses and developments right next to this proposed road. We, the citizens, would ask that you please represent us. It's in your power to shut this down because you actually own a portion of that land where you're proposing to build this land and where the county's putting these plans together. So I really appreciate your representation as your constituents to please protect us from this damaging project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the audience wish to speak this evening? Yes, sir.
Good evening, my name is Seth Muir, 2551 Mossy Creek Drive in Owatonna, and I thank you also for your service in helping make Owatonna a great place and representing your constituents. I think that often you hear from those two, they're kind of our biggest or most vocal members, and I think them as well, Matt and Alyssa, have put in a ton of time and research and efforts to help organize, put together over 200 people signing petitions. And so I'm here also in reference to the East Side Corridor, that I think that there is a need, but a highway at that 29th Avenue place is just, it can't fit as is right now. There are homes that are already built, properties that are there. My property you'd have to take out telephone poles and fences and eat the backyard there. So all the concerns that we've had in the past with safety with my 4 kids and all the kids that are in the neighborhoods, I think it's going to cost a lot more in the long run if you end up having to put up an aesthetically displeasing sound barrier. I think a spot further out, maybe 34th Avenue, would be a lot more economically feasible, and it sounds like a good plan for the future of Owatonna. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Come on down.
Andrew, for the microphone. Andrew Adams, 2543 Stony Creek Drive, been a resident there, new build. Echoing the representatives that have come before me, just saying that huge concerns, and my yard in particular, my new build will be directly impacted by this project. And I come from a bigger city, a transplant to Owatonna, and lived on one of those, and it was miserable. And this was also done to us, unfortunately, in that city as well. And we didn't advocate for ourselves, so I'm happy to see that our neighborhood is advocating, having been directly impacted by a corridor like this in the past. I don't have kids yet. Looking forward to having those potentially one day in this system and in this wonderful school system here. But this would be a huge safety impact, and I'm just going to be honest with you, as somebody who works in local government, the lack of communication from both the county and the city has been really disappointing from the get-go, and I feel like because of these organized individuals behind me, they're the ones who really got the communication going, and that's really disappointing, guys. So just some feedback from a constituency who really cares a lot about the safety of our neighborhood and our kids. So thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak this evening? Looks like not, so we'll move on to council comments. And first up tonight is Dave.
It's just good to be back home in the remodeled chamber. I think we're going to call it the Crandall Center. Okay. Very good.
Dan?
I just want to thank the staff that's here tonight. They do a great job, working especially we've been on a huge project. I don't know nearly as much as you do, just sitting here and listening and visiting with you. But I know more than what the constituents know, which isn't much, but you do a great job with that. Klecker, Ms. Thamer, Attorney Walbrand, Jenna and Aaron back there with this facility, Deanna. You guys are superb. Thank you for being on board all the time.
Thank you, Dan. Kevin?
Yeah, Jenna, Aaron, first of all, Jenna, I'll pick on you. I thought you were nuts 2 weeks ago when you said we're gonna be meeting in here tonight. I walked through the facility that afternoon, and I said, no way. I walked through here last week, and I said, no way. I walked through here yesterday, and I said, no way. And here we are. Thank you, Jenna, for pushing our construction people that, no, this isn't, hopefully it's done, it will be done. Aaron, thank you for just keeping your eye on the prize and really pushing to get this project done. While it's not done, there's cosmetic things to do. We're very blessed to be able to be in this facility and in a timely manner. One last thing I've got is our city administrator was not at our last city council meeting. She is a brand new grandmother for the first time, and congratulations to not only Chris, but daughter and son-in-law as well. I understand everyone is doing great, so that's exciting news. Thank you.
Great, well said, Kevin. Brent?
Just want to echo Kevin's thanks to Jenna and Aaron for all the work they put into this beautiful facility. It's awesome the way it turned out. And then secondly, I just want to remind the community of this coming Saturday at 9 o'clock is a dedication ceremony for the Owatonna Veterans Memorial. And that's located right next to the Still County History Center.
Good, thank you, Brent. Doug?
I guess I would echo, but want to call out one person in particular, Aaron. Every time I came up here, he's working hard. I know he was losing sleep. It's been a tough run for him, so thanks for all your extra effort there. Also wanted to thank everybody across the city and my friends here in the dais up here, the mayor for all the support after tragedy in our family with the loss of my sister-in-law. I appreciate the support.
Thank you, Doug. Nate?
I would echo the sentiments of the council. Thank you for all the hard work. I was here yesterday too and had questioning us whether I'm direction to be here tonight. So everyone did a great job. So thank you for that. Thank you everybody for coming. This is a pretty good turnout for council meetings. So hopefully we can continue to get more people coming to our new space.
All right, Mayor Tom?
I think it's all been said, so nothing to add.
Okay. And Chris Lucy, our city administrator.
Well, it shocks me to say I do agree with Kevin Rainey. And thankfully, Jenna and Aaron pushed through and got us in here, and many thanks to them for all their hard work. I do have one other thing for us. There's a lot of discussion about the East Side Corridor, and I just want to point out for the public, there is a great website that the county has put together with a whole host of information, all of the history, all of the meetings coming up, just gobs and gobs of information. It's eastsidecorridor.com, and I would urge any member of the public to go on there, and you'll find out everything you'd want to know about the East Side Corridor. So I would just put that out there.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I guess everybody's kind of said a lot. I guess I survived. I only called one of you by your wrong something or other. You're city engineer, sorry about that. But it's good to be in here. We got through, I think we get through all the bugs. I have the pleasure of having a view of the IT guys back there, and I did see them scrambling around and pulling their hair out, so I think everything must have worked pretty well, so thank you, gentlemen. And just a reminder that our next meeting on November 21st at 4:30 p.m. here in the city hall, right here in the council chambers, we're going to have their official ribbon cutting event to commemorate the investment in this historic building. So I invite everybody to come to our next meeting at 4:30 and we'll have a ribbon cutting ahead of time. So with that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Dan, second by Butch. Kevin? Yeah. Okay. You guys are confusing me. Is there any discussion? I'm assuming there's none, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?